sir, we begin with the fifth and the last class for transfer pricing. And today, what we are doing is the procedural last aspect. Okay. Once again, what we have covered is how to decide that transfer pricing is applicable. 92A, transaction should be between two associate enterprise. 92B, it should be an international transaction. 92C is such international transaction between two associate enterprise should be at arm's length price. So in the first class, with all the 13 criterias, we have decided whether it is an associate enterprise or not. In the second class, we saw detailed, okay, if it is associate enterprise, then how to decide the arm's length price, cup method. Third class, we have solved all the other problems related to the TNMM method. And yesterday, what we have done is, we know that transfer pricing is applicable. So can we go for advanced pricing? Advanced pricing agreement is some maximum coming 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Let us decide which method is applicable and how. So that it's like bar, board for advanced ruling jaise jate hai na, same. And then can we go for rollback also? Yes, 4 years. Honestly, tell me, was last class clear or not? Because it was little theoretical, not like I have given you running notes. Have you all written or not? Advanced pricing agreement can be entered for maximum 9 years. Here 5 years and here 4 years. Okay. Can we say, sir, we want to apply it for rollback, but we will not apply it for the future years? No. Can we just apply it future years or rollback nahi jana hai? Yes. And when the company merges, if the old company is there, then only rollback will be allowed. Right? Rollback will not be allowed for that year where there is a debate or appeal is going on and decision is already given by the ITET. तो वो year के लिए आप rollback नहीं जाओगे. Whether decision is pending, then cancel that decision, go for rollback, apply. What's the reason of giving rollback? See, now onwards, so we are going to follow TNMM method, profit split method. Okay? But past 4 years, whatever are the debates, let us close that also. Okay? Right. Now, in this, what next we are taking up is, I think I've taken all the problems for the rollback also. Those 10 case laws were there, right? And very important are, what are the cases when you are going for rollback or for advanced pricing agreement? Right? Chalo. Then let us start today's classes. Very simple but very important. 110% chances of getting a problem. मैम आप कितना पढ़ाएंगे ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग में? तो 2 problems will come, one for the cup method, one for one more method. And one more 3 to 4 marks problem will come, either of the two from today's class. One is what I'm teaching right now is secondary adjustment, or second part of this topic is earning before interest and tax. If you take a loan, how much interest is allowed? So these two are practical topics with this some small 92D, 92E, all that we will. Okay. Right. Chalo, let me share the screen. Anyone is having any doubt in yesterday's class of advanced ruling and all? Ask please. कोई भी doubt है तो पूछो आपको. Yeah, yesterday I also said that if there are more than one method applicable, then apply the method which is best suitable. But and if there is a variation in your actual price and arm's length price up to 3%, okay, in case of wholesale, up to 3%. So ignore करना है up to 1%. For this, I have solved one problem also in the last class. ठीक है? 18th wala. What are the cases when you will refer? Advanced pricing agreement ka purpose, validity. Can you withdraw? Yes. all this case laws based clarification we have already completed कि amalgamation में applicable है या नहीं, यहाँ applicable है या नहीं. Yes. Let us begin with the secondary adjustment. But for secondary adjustment, we should again know what is primary adjustment. Nice questions also I have covered with this. Understand what is primary adjustment. First of all, when I am saying that arm's length price of the goods which I have sold you is 80 lakhs. Whereas to my associate enterprise, I have sold at 80 lakhs. Whereas the same goods I am selling to others at 150 lakhs. Then to my associate enterprise, I have suppressed the sales. Instead of 150, 80 lakhs. कितने का sales suppress किए हैं? 70 lakhs. Okay. So primary adjustment says this 70 lakhs should be added in my income and I should pay the tax. See, when everyone in the market I am selling at 150, why I am selling to my associate enterprise sister concern at 80 lakhs? So 150 minus 80, 70 lakhs should be added in my total income. Clear? This is primary adjustment. Secondary adjustment says if we have increased our income, okay, in the books and we are paying more tax, then that much money should actually be repatriated from our foreign concern. Either for this transaction या कोई भी रहने दो, समझ में आया? When I've sold to others at 150, to my sister concern at 80, I'm saying okay चलो increase my total income by 70 lakhs, arm's length price ले लो, tax ले लो, सब ठीक है. But 70 lakhs I should have received more in India in foreign currency which did not come because I didn't take the arm's length price. I have suppressed the sale. Then here government is saying it will be assumed that 70 secondary adjustment means 70 lakhs should be repatriated or brought or remitted in India within 90 days of the order or transaction or finalization. For 90 days time limit I'll teach from table, but are you getting? Within 90 days of deciding कि हाँ ये primary adjustment हो गया और आपको ना ये देना ही पड़ेगा, tax तो देना ही पड़ेगा. So in that case, the secondary adjustment says that 150 minus 80, that 70 lakhs should be brought to India in the convertible foreign exchange within 90 days. If it is not brought in the 90 days, then at a fixed rate given by SBI और अगर डॉलर्स में है तो लिबोर का जो रेट है उसमें कुछ परसेंटेज ऐड करके इंटरेस्ट विल बी टेकन एज इनकम फॉर मी and on that income also I have to pay income tax. So these are all like step procedure. Let us see it in detail. इसको अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे और पूरे steps एक एक देखेंगे. Let us see. What is primary adjustment? Primary adjustment to a transfer price means the determination of transfer price in accordance with arm's length, resulting in an increase in the total income or reduction in the loss as case may be. Okay. Secondary adjustment means an adjustment in the books of accounts of the SSC and its associate enterprise to reflect that actual allocation of the profit between SSC and associate enterprise are consistent with the transfer pricing as a result of primary adjustment, thereby removing the imbalance between. See, income tax के हिसाब से your arm's length price is 150 lakhs, your actual selling price is say 80 lakhs. तो इनकम टैक्स में 70 lakhs हमने ऐड कर दिया टीआई में, टोटल इनकम में. क्लियर है आपको? इनकम टैक्स में हमने 70 lakhs ऐड कर दिया. अब क्या करना है? इनकम टैक्स में 70 lakhs we have added. Okay, but secondary adjustment said in my books तो 80 lakh sale is only reflecting ना. So 70 lakhs more should be received from my foreign associate enterprise. And in books also my sale should be made 170. But ma'am, until now they have not paid. So within 90 days of the day of the decision, ki no, your arm's length price is 150 lakhs. This 70 lakhs should be brought. एंड इफ दे आर नॉट ब्रॉट, अगर ब्रॉट नहीं है तो फिर क्या होगा, 150 lakhs जो है ना आपका, that will be taken as the arm's length price. And on this 70 lakh, as if the foreign associate enterprise, we are telling you instead of 80 the sales is 150. 70 lakhs दो नहीं दे रहे 90 days में, तो on 70 lakhs interest will be added, and this interest will also be income for the associate enterprise. मैम कब तक इनकम होगी, कितने साल तक, जब तक आप इंडिया में नहीं लेके आ रहे. समझ में आ रहा है आप सबको, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ यू विल डू. लेट अस रीड इट वन बाय वन. एक्चुअली तो वी आर डूइंग द एडजस्टमेंट, but then they are saying that do the adjustment in the books of accounts also. ठीक है, right? Secondary adjustment says adjustment in the books of accounts of SSE and associate enterprise to reflect that actual allocation of the profit between associate enterprise and its associate enterprise, between the SSE and its associate enterprise, are consistent with the primary adjustment, so that there should not be any doubt between the cash profit and the book profit. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है आपको, राइट? नाउ वेयर अ प्राइमरी एडजस्टमेंट टू ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग कब करोगे? सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट केसेस. व्हेन विल यू डू द सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट? व्हेन प्राइमरी एडजस्टमेंट टू ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग हैज बीन मेड सीओ मोटो बाय द एसएससी or made by assessing officer, has been accepted by the SSE. Made by assessing officer and it has been accepted by the SSE. and it या तो आपने खुद किए हैं प्राइमरी एडजस्टमेंट, या फिर एओ ने किया है, या एडवांस प्राइसिंग अग्रीमेंट के हिसाब से हुआ है एज डिसाइडेड बाय द एसएससी, और सेफ हार्बर रूल्स, or as a result of assessment by way of mutual agreement procedure. You know, sometimes when we have the double taxation avoidance agreement and all, then with the other countries we can have unilateral multilateral treaties and all. तो उस हिसाब से अगर डिसाइड हुआ है, so in those cases primary adjustment is done. Nothing contained in this section will apply if primary adjustment made in any previous year does not exceed 1 crore. Mark it very, very important for MCQ. Agar, you know, like my actual price is 50 lakhs and arm's length price is 65 lakhs. ठीक है, 15 लाख से प्राइमरी एडजस्टमेंट कर दो, बात खत्म. Don't worry that 15 lakhs should come from the foreign country and all. So they say secondary adjustment is necessary when primary adjustment exceeds 1 crore and primary adjustment is made in respect of assessment year commencing on or after 1st April 2017. क्लियर है आप सबको? चेक करो और पूछो कुछ डाउट है तो. Right. Whereas a result of primary adjustment, there's an increase in the total income or reduction in the loss. As the case may be, excess money which is available with its associate is not repatriated to India within time shall be deemed to be an advance made by SSE to such associate enterprise. ये देखो, आप उसको क्या treat करोगे? Advance. And interest shall be computed. Excess money means the difference between the arm's length price and the actual price what they have taken. Okay, right. समझ में आया? Put me a message, all clear what is secondary adjustment. But two conditions are, it is applicable if primary adjustment का value is exceeding 1 crore and the secondary adjustment is after 1st April 2017. ये जो सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट का कॉन्सेप्ट ही है ना, ये 2017 से ही शुरू हुआ है, पहले नहीं था. An Indian company sells certain products to associate enterprise for 100 crores whereas the arm's length price is 150 crore. ठीक है? So 50 crore का difference. The TPO confirms an upward adjustment of 50 crore. Difference between this. Subsequently, for the purpose of secondary adjustment, it would be deemed that associate enterprise owns 50 crores to Indian company, which will be deemed to be the loan or advance. समझ में आया? Okay, to associate enterprise. As a consequence, an interest would be imputed on such loan and adjustment would be carried out. Because the value of the transaction has. So tell me, is this example clear to all of you? Once again, I will say the gist and then we will continue. Because in exam, very easy and scoring questions are asked. Primary adjustment is when I am taking, instead of my actual price, arm's length price, increasing the income and paying tax on extra income. Done. Bye-bye. Secondary adjustment is when this primary income or the transaction exceeds 1 crore. Okay. Then they say secondary income means that secondary adjustment means that from the foreign company, if there is a difference that we have shown 100 lakhs and arm's length price is 150 lakhs, 50 crores should be repatriated from foreign country to India within 90 days of the order. If this is not repatriated 90 days ke andar, then this 50 crores is as if loan I have given to my associate enterprise, and on that interest will be calculated, and on that interest I have to pay tax. मैम बट मुझे कोई इंटरेस्ट आ नहीं रहा है मेरे एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज से, still they will calculate that this is a loan on that interest. At what rate I'll tell you now, and then you'll have to pay tax on that. Clear? So an Indian company selling the product to associate enterprise at 100 crores, ALP is 150 crores. 50 crores is the primary adjustment. Subsequently, for the purpose of secondary adjustment, it would be deemed that associate enterprise owns 50 crores to Indian company, which will be deemed to be a loan. And as a consequence, interest would be imputed on such loan and adjustment would be carried accordingly. Okay, right. Let us take up these questions. I am dictating and I want you all to write the answer here itself. Some years may be here and there, so I am telling you. Numi Limited is Indian company in which Yong, a Hong Kong based company, holds 30% voting right. So these two are associate enterprise because more than 26% shares are held. During the previous year 21-22, Indian company supplied laptop to the Yong Incorporation, and the price of the laptop for others is 1200, but we have billed to our associate enterprise at 800. Have we undershown it at $400 per piece? कम बताएं क्या हमने? Yes. During the course of assessment, the AO carried out primary adjustment and added a sum of 130 lakhs being the difference between the actual price and arm's length price for 500 pieces. Correct है? So 500 pieces पे they have, it was duly accepted. On account of this adjustment, excess money of 130 lakhs is available with the Yonging. 130 lakhs say income we have increased. That is primary adjustment is done. Now secondary adjustment. In this context, you are requested to briefly explain the relevant provisions of Act and suggest suitable solutions for the following issues. Okay. What is the effect of this transaction on the taxable income of the Numi Limited for assessment year 23-24? Okay, we are doing this all for 23 on the basis that it declared an income of 250 lakhs and excess money is still lying. Assume the rate of exchange and the LIBOR rate. 1 minute. Before we do that problem, because we will need the interest rate also for that purpose, तो ना पहले ये पढ़ लेते हैं कि अगर आपने इनकम नहीं बताई तो क्या रेट से इंटरेस्ट चार्ज होगा और कहां से. ओके, या सो बिफोर आई एम कीपिंग 20 to 23 on hold, let us do this. Time limit of repatriation. As we said, excess money should be repatriated in India on or before 90 days from the third column. 90 days जहां से पता चला वहां से it should be repatriated in India, and the period from which interest is chargeable on the excess money or part thereof which is not repatriated in such case is given in column 4. समझ में आ रहा है? What is date? Third column. कि 90 days कहां से count होगा? कि within 90 days from this date you have to bring it in India within 90 days. And this period says कि 90 days में अगर इंडिया में नहीं आए तो फिर क्या करना है? इंटरेस्ट स्टार्ट होगा. अब वो इंटरेस्ट कहां से स्टार्ट होगा? That we have to decide. See, primary adjustment to transfer pricing has been made suo moto by the SSE. SSE himself said that instead of 100, no, now our arm's length price is 150 lakh. Then due date of filing the return. Within 90 days from the due date of filing the return, you have to bring that money in India. Okay? If not, interest will not start after 90 days. Interest will start from day one only. Clear to all of you? Once again, if primary adjustment is done suo moto by the SSE, then within 90 days of filing the return, the difference between ALP should be brought in India. If not brought, interest will not start from the 91st day. It will start from the 90 day only. If primary adjustment to transfer pricing as determined in the order of the AO has been accepted by the SSE. Primary adjustment is determined in the order of the AO or appellate authority has been accepted by the SSE. Okay? हमने डिसाइड नहीं किया, एसएससी ने, एओ ने डिसाइड किया. तो 90 days from the date of the order by the AO. 90 days. I want all of you to write within 90 days from. ऐसा लिखा हुआ होना चाहिए. Within 90 days from the order of the AO, you have to bring that amount in India. If not, interest will start from the date of the order itself. You will not wait ki 90 days khatam ho jaye. Next, when primary adjustment is done by advance pricing agreement, and if the advance pricing agreement is entered into before due date of filing the return. Advance pricing is entered into in 23-24. For 25-26 अभी तक ड्यू डेट खत्म नहीं हुए. तो wherever you file the return, within 90 days bring the money, or from the same day interest will start. If advance pricing agreement is entered after due date of filing the return is over, then end of the month in which advance pricing has been entered into, वहां से 90 days. End of the month in which advance pricing has been entered into, wahan se 90 days. You have to bring the money to India. If not, interest will start from the end of the month. So here the crucial part is interest is not starting from the 91st day. Wahin se shuru ho ja rahe hain. Now, where option has been exercised by SSA as a safe harbor rules. He himself will decide and you have to accept that safe. Then same due date of filing the return. And where the primary adjustment to transfer pricing is determined by resolution arrived at by mutual agreement between the two countries and all, then the date of giving effect by AO under the rule, wahan se 90 days, and from the same date interest will start. See, within 90 days from this date, you have to bring the money to India. If not, interest will start right from the beginning. How is it? All clear or not? This says that when the primary transaction exceeds 1 crore, कितना है? 1 second, 1 second. 2-3 बार पढ़ेंगे तो याद हो जाएगा. Secondary adjustment is applicable where? When the primary transaction exceeds 1 crore and transaction is done by 1/4/2017, then whatever is difference, that money should be brought to India within 90 days. If not, interest will start. So within 90 days from where? Due date of filing the return. अगर AO ने अगर खुद से किया है तो CO मोटो, AO ने किया है तो 90 days from order. अब हम एडवांस प्राइसिंग अग्रीमेंट में गए तो डेट ऑफ फाइलिंग द रिटर्न Okay, वहां से 90 days. If advance pricing is done for the year when return dates are already over, then wherever that order is passed, wahan se 90 days. Option has been excised, due date of filing the return. Primary adjustments, the date of giving effect by AO and so on. So this is all the story about the primary adjustment. Money should be brought in India. Now, if this money is not brought in 90 days, interest is charged from day one at what rate? Rate of interest for the purpose of computation of interest on excess money or part thereof, if not repatriated. Okay. Interest would be computed at the rates mentioned in column 3 in respect of case mentioned in column 2. Where international transaction is denominated in Indian rupees. If this transaction is in rupees, then at 1 year marginal cost of funding rate of SBI on 1st April means interest rate of SBI of 1st April plus 3.25%. Are you clear? Yes? So suppose interest rate of SBI is 9%. So 9 plus 3.25%, 12.25% से आप इंटरेस्ट शुरू कर दोगे लेना. Where 6 months LIBOR interbank offered rate if international transaction is in foreign currency. Okay. Then 6 months LIBOR interbank offered rate as on 30th of September of the relevant previous year plus 3%. SBI का first day of lending plus 3.25% इतना मिला के you will charge the interest. और अगर LIBOR is lender interbank offered rate average of 6 months 30th September plus 3%. In case above rate of exchange for calculation of the value is taken in foreign exchange, then telegraphic transfer buying rate of such currency on the last day of the previous year in which transaction was undertaken. तो जो भी अगर कभी डॉलर में और कोई करेंसी में करना है तो whatever is the transfer pricing rate, okay, that is the foreign currency rate last date of the previous year, buying rate of such currency on the last day of the previous year in which transaction took place. So 31st March transaction took place in previous year 20 to 23. So 31st March 23 को buying rate क्या है that you will take. Okay, if you don't remember anything, just remember bring the money within 90 days. If not, interest will be charged at SBI rate plus 3%, 3.25% or LIBOR rate plus 3%. Okay. Now you know what next time teaching is very beautiful. It says, okay, instead of 100 lakhs, we have taken arm's length price as 150 lakh. 50 lakh add करके हमने tax pay कर दिया. 50 lakh associate enterprise से आना है. If they give, nothing, no interest. If they don't give, it is treated as loan. And on this loan, interest is calculated. And this interest is income in my return for how many years? My transaction was done in 1920. तब से I am telling to associate enterprise, अरे difference you pay me, they are not paying. So every year on that loan, 12 months interest is calculated. Presumptive interest you can say, fake वाला कोई interest आना नहीं है. तो वो interest पे I am paying tax, but how long will I pay tax like this? Government is saying, okay, your associate enterprise is not repatriating money. Yes, they are not giving interest, and you want to close this. Then one time pay 18% tax, surcharge, interest, and finish up. How, ma'am? Let us see now. In case where the excess money or part thereof has not been repatriated, SSC has the option to pay additional tax. Additional tax kitna? 18%. Surcharge on that 12% and ECESS 4%. Calculator करो देखो. 100 पे 18% मतलब 18 into 112%. 20.16 into 104%. 20.9664. Finish. 20.9664. Okay. So this much tax you pay on what? On excess money जो 50 lakhs है. देखो 100 lakhs की जगह हमने 150 lakhs लिया. तो या तो 50 lakhs को एडवांस ट्रीट करो और इस पे इंटरेस्ट पे करो, और 50 lakhs पे वन टाइम 18 प्लस 12 प्लस 4% टैक्स पे करके खत्म कर दो. ओके. Where additional income tax is so paid by SSC, he will not be required to make secondary adjustment and compute interest from the date of payment of tax. फिर से एक बार, where additional income tax is so paid, he will not be required to do secondary adjustment and compute. ये story will get closed. This implies that he would be, in case, be required to compute interest up to the date of the payment of additional tax. एडिशनल टैक्स नहीं पे किया तब तक इंटरेस्ट देते रहो. द डे यू पे एडिशनल टैक्स 18%, 12%, 4%, over. Additional income tax so paid by SSC shall be treated as final payment of tax in respect of excess money or part thereof not repatriated, and no further credit would be allowed to SSC. Further, no deduction in respect of amount on which such additional income tax has been paid would be allowed under income tax. कोई expenditure नहीं मिलेगा और कोई credit नहीं मिलेगा, कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, and it will get closed. Check it and tell me, is this clear? You might get this as MCQ also. It's a very simple topic. All right, you want me to repeat or until now all clear? Then related to these problems are there. Now we should read this. So what happened that I've sold to my sister concern at associate enterprise at 800, whereas to others at 1200. Regarding this, 130 lakhs is the primary adjustment and it is added. What is the effect on income, taxable income for assessment year on the basis that it declared an income of 250 lakhs and excess money is still lying? So if they are not repatriating, then what we will do? हाँ, या तो आपको 30 lakhs repatriate करना था from the date it is order is passed by the AO. What is the effect? So write down, please. Write down the answer I'm giving. 130 lakhs to be repatriated in India. Repatriated in India in 90 days from order of AO. AO जब से order दे रहा है तब से 90 days में करना पड़ेगा. If not, interest will be charged. This time labor rate, how much they have given? 30th September 22 crores को. Labor rate is given 10.5 plus 3%. Take a pause. If Indian rate है तो 3.25 और labor है तो 3%. (13.5%). Would the taxable income undergo any change if above adjustments carries out resulted in 90 lakhs? That I'll say. First you write down. 13.5% interest will be calculated. You don't have to calculate interest because dates and all are not given. But you should know. Libor rate है तो plus 3%. SBI का rate है तो 3.25%. Now, would taxable income of New Me Limited undergo any change if the above adjustment carried out resulted in additions of 90 lakhs against 130 lakhs? Huh? अगर 90 लाख ही है मतलब 1 करोड़ से कम है. 1 crore is 100 lakhs. So if the adjustment, primary adjustment is of 90 lakhs, then answer is secondary adjustment not applicable for less than 100 lakhs. Less than 1 crore primary transaction है तो secondary adjustment तो applicable ही नहीं है. What is the impact of this adjustment on taxable income of New Me Limited for assessment year 23-24? If such adjustment pertains to 16-17, not applicable. Secondary adjustment not applicable before 1st April 2017. Answer. Secondary adjustment is not applicable before 1st April 2017. Secondary adjustment is less than 1 crore. ठीक है. चलो. Next question. Finish writing answer. Can you put me a message? You are comfortable writing this or you want to do it in notebook? समझ में आया? You know the question appears like very big. देखो उसका structure देखो बड़ा सा question दिख रहा है और क्या क्या. But when you try to answer it, it is like one liner answer and very easy. Is this all clear to all of you? Next one. Charlie Limited is Indian company that manufactures t-shirt. Charlie Limited is eligible for deduction under section 10AA. 10AA वो SEZ वाला मिलता है ना. Charlie Limited uses patent design provided by USA wala company. Charlie Limited supplied 30,000 sports t-shirt to USA at 5,000. In the assessment, the assessing officer increased the price charged by Charlie Limited to 6,000. AO ने बोला नहीं 5,000 आप कम सेल बता रहे हैं 6,000. Charlie accepts that. ठीक है चलो 1,000 रुपए से बढ़ा देंगे. As a result, there is increase in income. Would Charlie Limited and Chaplin Sports USA be treated as associate enterprise? Answer is yes, because we are completely technical know-how. ये देखो, technical know-how dependent. See, when we are dependent on other company for technical know-how, logos and all, or we are purchasing all material for them, or we are selling only to them, then of course two of us are sister concern, associate enterprise. Nice, clear to all of you answer? Yes. First answer is yes, they are associate enterprise. What is the liability of Chaplin Sports in respect of change in the arm's length price? कितना फर्क पड़ा है देखो. 5,000 से बिलिंग हुआ है और 6,000 से होना था तो 1,000 पर पीस पर टी शर्ट. और कितने टी शर्ट है 30,000 टी शर्ट into 1,000. सो टोटल इनकम आपकी कितने से इंक्रीज हो रही है 30 करोड़. 30 करोड़ से इंक्रीज हो रही है इनकम. Income is increasing by 30 crore. So within 90 days, amount repatriated in India. In short, is secondary adjustment applicable? Answer is yes. Is secondary adjustment applicable? Answer is yes. There is increase in income. 30 crores. ठीक है. Next. Charlie Limited contends that since the income has increased because of the ALP adopted by AO, deduction claimed by it under section 10AA would not be increased. Okay. Is this correct? Answer is yes. Acha, they said deduction should also be increased. Then the answer is no, sorry. I said it will not increase. Take a pause and listen to me. Whenever, because of the transfer pricing, your income is increasing. If because of transfer pricing, your income is increasing, on that increased income, additional SEZ, total turnover, export turnover, total profit, export profit. तो मेरा total profit बढ़ गया तो additional SEZ में नहीं मिलता. This was done in yesterday's class. So no on additional income, additional exemption under section 10AA, not allowed. Additional exemption under section 10AA, not allowed. Clear? Are you comfortable? Easy questions are there. Today's topic is new, but the level of the questions are very, very easy. And within 90 days, you have to remit in India. Shall I close this question or अभी भी कोई doubt है? Second, ये कल पढ़ाया था आपको 1 minute. I'll show you. I did teach you yesterday कि whenever there is a change and your transfer pricing is decided by AO and all, then on that increased income to adjustment. I said market also very important. If you have missed and if you don't remember, I'll see now. ये देखो. Effect of arm's length price. I did say they have asked you that when you change the arm's length price, no deduction under chapter 6A or 10AA shall be allowed in respect of amount of income by which total income is enhanced after the computation of income by you, where total income of associate is computed by assessing officer on determination of arm's length price paid to another associate enterprise from which tax has been deducted. Income of other associate enterprise shall not be recomputed by reason of the arm's length price. समझ में आ रहा है? तो दूसरी कंसर्न में कोई चेंज नहीं होगा उनकी इनकम में. They have to repatriate that amount. Secondary adjustment, if the primary adjustment increase 1 crore, वो अलग है. But on the increase in income, additional exemptions are not allowed, and then other people's income or expense will not change. That's all for secondary adjustment, which is over now. 1 or 2 small topic and then transfer pricing will close. अच्छे से करो जो प्रॉब्लम्स हमने क्लास में किए हैं. कप मेथड, profit split method. If you look at the structure of the problem, it looks vast, but then when you do it, it is so easy. So like this, you will have to repeat. Okay. Next is 92D. 92 ABC is over. D is for documentation. Maintenance, keeping and information of document by person entering into an international transaction. So when we are having international transactions, then we need to maintain all the document, and so many times they ask us all the details and reporting and everything. I want all of you to write here a term called as transfer pricing study report. Transfer pricing study report, है ना? Every person who has entered into international transactions shall keep and maintain such information and document in respect thereof as may be prescribed. So, gist of this I will tell you. You need to maintain proper documents related to transfer pricing transactions. Like the person being constituted an entity of an international group shall maintain information of, you're a part of associate enterprise, can be more than one also. So who is the head office, who are the branches, who are sharing all the details. AO in course of proceeding requires such documentation and all. then within a period of 30 days from the date of receipt of notice issued in this regard. However, AO or the Commissioner Appeals may, on application made, extend the period of 30 days by further 30 days. तो AO can ask कि D for documentation 92D में 30 days के अंदर आप documentation दे दो. The person being constituent entity shall also keep and maintain such information and document in respect of international group. Every person who has entered into or specified domestic transaction, they all should maintain. If they fail to maintain, then 5 lakh rupees penalty is there under section 271AA. ये एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन के फॉर्म में आया है. कैसे वी विल डू टुडेज क्लासेस very easy, dear students, and it is exam oriented. If you read it again, if you're clear with the concept of primary adjustment, secondary adjustment, and then if you read it again, you will be able to solve the question. अगर D for document time पे नहीं दिए 30 days के अंदर and all, then there is a penalty of 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Documents are required to be maintained only if the value of the transaction exceeds 1 crore, where primary adjustment exceeds 1 crore, and documents are to be kept for 8 years. Now E, 92D हो गया. अब 92E, report from an accountant to be furnished by person entering into international transaction. Every person who has entered into international transaction during the year shall obtain a report from an accountant, furnished such report before 31st of October in form number 3C, be duly signed and all. Okay. So when you have international transactions, you need to submit a report of a chartered accountant, you know, like CA का audit report होता है form number 3CAB, 3CAB. वैसे ही 3CEB for the international transactions you have to submit. Okay. Now international transactions के लिए तो transfer pricing applicable है. कोई भी purchase, sale, loan, rental, royalty, सब. But there are few specified domestic transactions wherein this is applicable. अब ये कैसे applicable होगा देखते हैं. Just a simple concept. R for reading you should know, और limit याद रख लो MCQ के. Okay, I will contradict very first condition. When I started the class, I said international transactions should be between two people, one of whom should be non-resident. Okay, lekin domestic transaction means between two branches, the transactions are huge, and if they are not arm's length, they are not at arm's length, can we apply transfer pricing, right? Okay. Now see, I have head office in Hyderabad. And this is covered in section 115, BBA and all. You know, where the tax rate is 15%, 22%. याद है सबको? Subsidized rate. और हमारा एक branch है, वो है नागपुर में. Okay. और वहां पे normal 30% tax लगता है. Okay. So what we do is we try to do all the sales. Selling price or say sales is 80 lakhs बता रहे हैं, जबकि actual arm's length price of sales is 150 lakhs. So we are trying to suppress the sales of 30%. Yeah, we are trying to divert the expenses and all through head office and all. Are you getting? मतलब बिटवीन सिस्टर कंसर्न हम लोग ये देखते हैं कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा सेल हम हेड ऑफिस में बताएं और ब्रांच में कम बताएं, क्योंकि हेड ऑफिस जो है वो क्या है, इट्स गोइंग टू पे द टैक्स at least rate. So just to avoid the tax, if these kind of transactions are there, is there any non-resident here? Is there an international transaction? No. क्या कोई NRI है? No. Then also this is applicable. So ऐसे दो cases हैं. One is notified jurisdictional area. Next I will teach. And one is some specified domestic transaction wherein transfer pricing is applicable. ठीक है? चलो. Okay. Specified domestic transaction includes any of the transactions not being international transaction, but where the aggregate of transactions in the previous year exceeds 20 crores. 20 करोड़ से ज्यादा है, 20 करोड़ से ज्यादा ट्रांजैक्शन की वैल्यू है between two branches, sister concerns and all. So any transactions referred in section 80A, inter-unit transfer by an undertaking or eligible business carried on by SSE for corresponding not, हाँ तो 80A का transaction है, या फिर 80IA, those specified units who get deductions, export oriented, or transactions by SSE and other person referred in ATI 10. मैम अब ये ATI 8 और 10 और क्या है, forget it. उतना डिटेल में याद नहीं रहने वाला, but in a broad way you should know that international transactions has got a conflicting thing, that even specified domestic transactions where value of the transaction to exceed 20 crores and we feel that this transaction is not as arm's length, to bring it at arm's length. Any transaction referred to in such chapter 6A to which provisions of ATIA or 10 is applicable. Any business transaction between person referred to in section 115 with whom company has closer connection, BAB and all, or any other transactions. Arm's length price and income of specified domestic company to be computed in 92C, जो भी method है, cup method ये वो, person entering into specified domestic transaction. अगर एक बार specified domestic transaction में आ गए 20 करोड़ के ऊपर, तो arm's length price 92C, D for document, E for audit, सब applicable हो जाएगा. Specified domestic transactions can be referred to as transfer pricing officer for computation of arm's length. That's it. Take a pause and tell me orally, will you be able to remember this? There is no international transaction only. 92B नहीं है. एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज होगा कैसे? 2 ब्रांच है, या एक हेड ऑफिस है, एक ब्रांच है, इंटरडिपेंडेंट है फॉर सेल, फॉर परचेज, फॉर सर्विसेज. तो विद इन इंडिया if there is a specified domestic transaction wherein value of transaction exceed 20 crores, if it is not at arm's length, apply 92C, get it at arm's length, document पूरे maintain करो 92D, audit करवाओ 92E. Transfer pricing provisions are applicable. चलो next we'll see now NJA. Right. NJA is notified jurisdictional area. Okay, right. So this is an area, notified jurisdictional area. इससे related बहुत easy और superb question आते हैं exam में, but अभी practically there is no such area which is declared like that. I'll tell you the gist of this. You know, so many times some of the countries are declared as notified jurisdictional area, then all the transactions with such NJA are treated as associate enterprise है या नहीं है, transfer pricing लग जाएगा, 92D लग जाएगा, 92E लग जाएगा. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So if there are certain specified transactions with the notified jurisdictional area, ma'am notified कौन है? अभी कोई नहीं है. Earlier there was Cyrus and other countries, but अभी तो कोई भी country नहीं है जो NJ में notified है. But अगर notified है, and if I am doing transaction with that country, but there is no associate relationship, we are like very different entity, still every transaction with the NJA, notified jurisdictional area SSE, will be treated as transaction between associate enterprise. Arm's length price is applicable, documentation is applicable, your all the other things which you have studied will be applicable. Okay, now here very important is TDS concept. You know, because we want NJ to pay tax in India, sometimes say NJ say some people they have invested in India, and let us take an example, they have purchased rupee denominated bonds. यार infra bond, तो उस पे 194A में 5% TDS कट जाता है, 5% पे ही वो tax है. It's taxable also at 5%. But they say that if this unit is located in the NJA, instead of 5%, we will deduct 30% TDS. Okay, 30% TDS, right? Then this is applicable. Followed or not? हाईएस्ट टीडीएस लग जाएगा मैम, बट हमने तो इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट किया, आपने बोला था 5% ही टीडीएस लगेगा. But if you are a notified jurisdictional area, we will deduct 30% TDS. Later, if you want to claim a refund, you can file the return and claim. This is just a gist, word by word I will read. See. Central government, having regard to the lack of effective exchange of information with any country, specify such country or territory as a notified jurisdictional area in relation to transactions entered into by an SSA. ठीक है? Right. So central government, having regard to the lack of effective exchange of information with any country or territory outside India, specify such country or territory as NJA. Okay, in relation to transactions entered in the SSE. Person located in India shall include a person who is resident in NJ or a person other than individual who is established in that area, or a PE of a person other than above in the NJ. बात समझ में आ रही है? तो पहले तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट will declare certain area as an NJ. Then person located in NJ shall include person who is resident in the NJ or person other than individual who is established in that area as partnership LLP or a PE of the person in the NJ. ठीक है? Right. Transactions with a person. If an SSC enters a transaction where one of the parties is a person located in NJ, all parties to the transaction shall be deemed to be associate enterprise. I have entered a transaction with a person who is resident of NJ. But हम क्या assume कर रहे हैं कि अभी associate enterprise है, and all the provisions of the SSC, that is 92A, B, C, CA CB सब applicable हो जाएगा. No deduction will be allowed. Payment made to any financial institution located unless prescribed from any other income to seek relevant information. Other expenditures arising from transaction. कुछ expenditure कुछ भी allow नहीं होगा. If SSC is in receipt of any sum from any NJ and SSC offers no explanation, okay, then such amount will be treated as income of the SSC. अगर आपको NJ से कोई income नहीं, कोई पैसे आए, amount आए, and you are not able to explain कि कहाँ से आए हैं, क्या है, तो this will become taxable. Rate of TDS, mark this, very important, ये exam में आ चुका है, objective question. Rate of TDS for NJ shall be rate in force, say 5%, अभी जो infra bond पे बताया. Rate specified in the act में भी 5% है, or at the rate, whichever is higher. In short, all the transactions with NJ are subject to TDS at what rate? 30%. Clear? Pardon. Let me tell you the gist. Central government, see, if we want to apply arm's length price and all with the transaction with, say, Australia, Singapore, Japan, other countries, we should have all the information. अगर लग रहा है कि there is lack of information, first step, central government will declare some of the areas as NJ. Now in the NJ, we can do a transaction with a resident or person or kuch bhi hai, okay? Now all the parties to the transactions will be treated as associate enterprise. All provisions will apply. No deductions you will get. It will be treated as deemed income. And TDS क्या rate से कटेगा? कुछ भी income आई वहां से, receipt. And if you are not able to offer explanation, it will be taxable. And TDS will be deducted at higher rate 30%. 24th sum we are doing. Let us apply it. मैम ऐसे क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आएंगे, आ सकते हैं। राज लिमिटेड इज एन इंडियन कंपनी। अच्छा, वन थिंग आई वांट इन टॉप टू राइट प्लीज फॉर एमसीक्यू ऑल्सो, डिड आई टीच यू कि 3% वेरिएशन याद है? होलसेल में 1% और 3% वेरिएशन इन रिटेल है, तो इग्नोर ALP एंड टेक आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस। वेरिएशन कॉन्सेप्ट not applicable to NJA. लिखो 1% in wholesale, 3% in retail. This variation concept is not applicable in NJA. मतलब if my price is actual price is 50, arm's length price is 50.5, थोड़ा सा भी फर्क है तो take the arm's length price. That variation emotional है ना, वेरिएशन वाला वो सब कुछ भी एप्लीकेबल नहीं है। देखो, Raj Limited Indian company provides technical services to Niharco located in NGA for a consideration of 55 lakhs. It charges 60 lakhs for similar services to others. Prahar, which is not located in NGA. Prahar is not an associate enterprise of Raj. Discuss the implications of 94A and 92C for services rendered by Raj to Nihal. Services what are rendered to Raj at Nihal, take it as associate enterprise A. Take it as associate enterprise. तो फिर आप arm's length price लोगे 60 lakhs. Instead of 55 lakhs, you will take it at 60 lakhs. We are providing technical services at 55 lakhs. बट दूसरों को कितने दे रहे हैं? मैं 60 है, तो हमारी टोटल इनकम कितने से बढ़ जाएगी? 5 lakhs. 5 लाख से टोटल इनकम बढ़ जाएगी. प्लीज रीड इट. Just 10 minutes more and topic will be over. Please write it and ask me if you have any doubts. All right. Once again, shall I say the gist और इसको कैसे solve करोगे? लिख लिया. देखो, I am doing normal transaction with an entity who is located in the NJ. Whatever transaction I do, this is treated as associate enterprise. Ma'am, but actually it's not associate. 13 में से कोई भी criteria, आधे से ज्यादा director appoint करो, ये करो, वो करो, कुछ भी नहीं है. All the transactions with the NJ are treated as transactions with associate enterprise. It should be at arm's length price. Others we are charging 60 lakhs. Here we are charging 55 lakhs. Total income बढ़ा दो, tax ले लो, सब provisions applicable हो जाएंगे. ठीक है? Right. Ragini, a non-resident, is due to receive interest 8 lakhs from notified infrastructure debt fund eligible for 1047 exemption. Okay. He incurred expenditure amounting to 28,000 for earning such income. Okay. 8 lakh rupees interest income आई है NJ से और वो exempt है और उससे related expense है. अब expense तो allowed नहीं है, not allowed. Discuss the tax implications under 94A. 94A. Read with 115A and 194LP. Yes? So ये जो 8 लाख रुपए आए हैं आपको, interest, is it going to be taxable in India? Expenditure is to not allowed, but they say it is exempt. But if you take it as NJ, then कोई exemption नहीं है under section 115A. Under section under section 115A, 8 lakhs interest received taxable. And since it is an NJA, instead of 5%, normal TDS rate on the infra bonds and funding and all are 5%. Instead of 5%, 30% TDS deducted. 30% TDS deducted. देखो क्लियर है आप सबको? नोटिफाइड jurisdictional एरिया है, and there if from them if you have received the interest and though they are saying it's exempt under 1047, generally TDS is deducted at the rate of 5%. और फिर वो exempt रहेगा क्योंकि उतना TDS तो पे कर चुके हैं. But here because it is in NGA, 5% or 30% whichever is higher, तो 30% के रेट से टैक्स लग जाएगा. Last concept in this, that is limitation of interest. Indian company or PE of the foreign company which is not engaged in the business of banking and insurance को छोड़ के, if they have incurred expenditure by way of interest exceeding 1 crore to non-resident being associate enterprise in respect of debt and all. So what they are saying, if we have taken loan from our associate enterprise, then how much interest, loan का amount कितने से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए? 1 crore. So how much interest is allowed? Maximum 30% of IBDA. What is IBDA? Earning before interest, depreciation and all. But here should we check whether they are associate enterprise or not? No. Even though the lender is not an associate, and debt shall be deemed as associate enterprise, and if associate enterprise has given a guarantee, तो भी हमने कोई हमारे फॉरेन कंपनी को लोन नहीं दिया है. ओके we have not given the loan, okay, and they are not associate enterprise. But if it is that we have Indian company and all, so whether it is associate enterprise or not, it will be treated as associate enterprise. And they say excess disallowed, excess interest shall not be allowed while computing income chargeable under PGBP. Excess interest is interest more than 30% of earning before interest, depreciation and interest, tax and depreciation. IBDA. Interest paid to associate enterprise. जो आपने, in short, you know, what is disallowed is excess interest to be disallowed. 30% say excess. But 30% say excess or interest, whichever is lower. So obviously lower ही होगा ना. Excess interest can't be more than interest. I hope you are getting the maths logic. Okay? Right. Disallowed interest shall be eligible for carry forward for 8 years. इस बार प्रॉफिट ही नहीं है कि पूरा इंटरेस्ट एब्जॉर्ब हो जाता है. You can carry forward for 8 years for which disallowance was first made and it shall be allowed as deduction. Okay? Meaning तो associate enterprise loan और वो सब clear है. Not applicable where business ही उनका banking business है. Just check this solved example, it will be clear. And I can say, dear students, these are asked for 5 marks. ये दोनों क्वेश्चन और 5 मिनट नहीं लगेगा मुझे नोटबुक में करने के लिए. Okay, 1 second. Check this example and I will make it clear. One thing, today we are doing very small big topics. So in the end, we will just revise it all in flow also. Okay, right. So whenever there is an Indian company or a PE of a foreign company का branch है, okay, which is not involved in banking, finance, insurance, and incurs expenditure by way of interest exceeding 1 crore to a non-resident being associate enterprise. So I have taken loan from my associate enterprise and I'm paying them interest above 1 crore. Okay, right? Then maximum how much interest is allowed? Even though the lender is not an associate enterprise, the debt shall be deemed to be an associate if associate enterprise provides explicit guarantee. Oh, one is I have directly taken loan from associate enterprise. Another, I have taken loan from third party, but to third party from whom I have given the loan, guarantee is given by my associate enterprise. You remember? More than 10% guarantee or loan more than 51% of total assets. So interest is allowed how much? Up to 30% of the earning before interest, tax and depreciation. That much is allowed. Okay. Disallowed interest, that is excess interest, is carried forward for 8 succeeding years for which disallowance was first made, and it shall be disallowed as deduction against the profits. तो अगर excess interest अभी तो disallow कर दिया, can we carry forward that? Yes, whatever interest is disallowed, so for 8 years it can carry forward the interest which is disallowed, and it shall be allowed as a deduction against the profits and gains carried on to the extent of maximum allowable interest. Okay, right. Non-applicability. This is not applicable to an Indian company or a PE which is engaged in the business of banking, or interest paid in respect of debt issued by lender which is a PE being person engaged in business of banking. Okay, या तो जो लोन दे रहे हैं वो बैंकिंग के बिजनेस में है, और इफ द इंटरेस्ट इज पेड इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ डेब्ट इशूड बाय लेंडर विच इज अ पी इन इंडिया. ओके, हमने लोन तो नॉन रेसिडेंट से लिया है बट उनका पी इंडिया में है, तो इंडिया के इंडिया में ही लोन हो गया ना. एंड देन दिस पी इन इंडिया ऑफ दैट लेंडर, इट इज एंगेज्ड इन द बैंकिंग बिजनेस. ओके, डायरेक्टली नॉन रेसिडेंट से हमने लोन लिया. Okay, we have accepted the loan from the non-resident or a foreign company who's having a P in India. Okay, and interest paid exceeds 1 crore. Okay, sometimes we have taken loan not from associate enterprise by a third party, but where associate enterprise has given guarantee, then interest allowed is maximum 30% of the IBDA. उससे ज़्यादा है तो carry forward for 8 years and it shall allowed as deduction in the subsequent years wherever it is within the limit. ये देखो, एक ही example solve करते हैं as good as, and then 2 problems also. IBDA, अर्निंग बिफोर. इब्दा का फुल फॉर्म अगर कहीं नहीं लिखा है तो आप लिख लो प्लीज. अर्निंग बिफोर interest. So if they give earning after interest, you have to add back interest, depreciation and taxes. So if that is 100, how much interest is allowed? 30. But interest pay कितना किया है? 35. तो देख के मैम 5 allowed है ना एक्स्ट्रा, 5 disallow होगा. But what is the interest payable to associate enterprise? 35. What is interest payable to others? Nil. So what is the total interest payable? Associate और बाहर मिला के कितना interest है? 35. Interest in excess of 30% of IBDA. 30% कितना है? 5. 30 and 5. तो 5. Interest payable to the associate enterprise. Okay. 35 and excess interest, whichever is lower. I'm telling you, dear students, the gist of this is 30% of interest से जो excess interest है ना, that is disallowed. But they are saying excess interest, that is 5. or the interest to the associate enterprise, whichever is lower. फिर से देखो, आपका इब्दा है 100, 30% इंटरेस्ट अलाउड है. एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज को कुछ भी इंटरेस्ट पे नहीं किए. बाहर कितना किए? 35. टोटल इंटरेस्ट 35. हाउ मच इज एक्सेस इंटरेस्ट? 5 you have paid extra above 30%. What is interest payable to associate enterprise? Nil. तो कितना डिसअलाउ होगा? Nil. Disallowed तब होगा when you have paid interest to your associate enterprise. और यहाँ पे तो associate enterprise को interest ही नहीं है. Excess है 30% से more interest you have paid, but that excess interest will be disallowed provided you pay interest to associate enterprise. तो यहाँ तो associate enterprise nil है, तो deduction भी nil. Now earning है 100, 30% is only allowed. Interest to associate enterprise is 50. Interest to others is 20. Total interest is 35. Huh? Now, how much excess interest is paid? 30 and 35, 5. How much interest is paid to associate? Total तो 35 पे किए, पर associate enterprise को कितना किए? 15. So in short, excess interest disallowed is limited to whatever interest you pay to associate enterprise. 15 or excess interest 5 to 5. Take your time. I really want message from each one of you. Is this concept clear or not? मतलब ये step. I've just taken it as solved example कि associate को कितना दिए बाहर. I will just solve it in notebook and work out a simple format for this. Yeah, I want all of you to write this. This is also called, this concept कि आप ज़्यादा interest तो नहीं दे रहे, is also called as thin capitalization. Thin capitalization, यहाँ लिखो topic के पास नाम. Thin capitalization. चलो. Happy Limited, a resident, has borrowed 22, has borrowed 100 crores from Success, a company incorporated in USA, at a rate of interest of 9%. अच्छा, वन मोर पॉइंट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज, ये जो इंटरेस्ट है ना, ये कितने से एक्सीड होना चाहिए? Interest of similar nature exceeding 1 crore to non-resident being assessed respect of any form of debt incurred. तो 1 करोड़ से interest exceed होना चाहिए, तभी you will apply this concept. Okay, right. Happy Limited, a resident of Indian company, on 1st April 22 has borrowed 100 crores from Success, a company incorporated, at an interest rate of 9%. The said loan is repayable over a period of 10 years. Okay. So we have taken loan 100 crores. Further, loan is guaranteed by C. We have taken loan from Success. Success से हमने लोन लिया है, हमारा नाम क्या है? Happy. Further, the loan is guaranteed by Focus. Messrs Action, a non-resident holder, holds 30% of voting power both in Happy and Focus. Happy and Focus का एक कॉमन ओनर है 30%. तो ये एंटरप्राइज क्या हो गई? Associate enterprise. Followed? So this time we have not taken a loan from associate enterprise. We have taken loan from others. But where my associate enterprise has given the guarantee. देखो. So this loan is repayable. Loan is guaranteed by Focus. अब कोई मैसेज एक्शन है holds 30% वोटिंग पर बोथ इन हैप्पी एंड फोकस? कोई है? तो हैप्पी और फोकस क्या हो गए? एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज. तो दिस टाइम वी हैव नॉट टेकन लोन फ्रॉम एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज, बट फोकस जो हमारा एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज है उसने गारंटी दी है. या नेट प्रॉफिट ऑफ हैप्पी वाज 10 after debiting interest, depreciation 5 crore and income tax. Calculate the amount of interest to be disallowed for the happy limited and the substantiate others. ठीक है ना? Right, चलो. 26th sum in the notebook. इसको थोड़ा नोटबुक में करेंगे क्योंकि अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है. डायग्राम के साथ we will do. Problem number 26. All the limits also I'll give you together once, please. चलो fast. पहले इसका कॉन्सेप्ट लिखें 2 मिनट. अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट है ना. लिमिटेशन ऑन इंटरेस्ट deduction. Write down as quickly as you can. Limitation of interest deduction, section 94B, concept. What is the concept? First point क्या है इसमें? Loan taken from associate enterprise or from third party where guarantee is given by associate enterprise. Okay. Point number 2. Interest is paid more than 1 crore. Interest is allowed. Interest is allowed. How much interest is allowed? 30% of if the excess interest, excess interest above 30% of if the 30% के ऊपर का जो excess interest है ना, वो इंटरेस्ट आपका डिसअलाउ होगा. डिसअलाउड है, नॉट अलाउड. कितना इंटरेस्ट डिसअलाउ होगा? Excess interest above 30% of IPTA, or second is interest paid, not total, interest paid to associate enterprise, whichever is lower. ये हो गया कॉन्सेप्ट. देख लो एक बार. Loan is taken from associate enterprise or loan is taken from third party where associate enterprise is giving guarantee. Interest is paid is above 1 crore. Then interest is disallowed, excess interest above 30% of IPTA or interest paid, whichever is lower, that is disallowed. Now in this problem number 26 we are doing. Okay, right. We have taken a loan. Chalo, fast. Happy Limited has borrowed from Success. So Success Limited से हमने borrow loan. किसने borrow किया है? Happy Limited. Loan is guaranteed by Focus Incorporation. Happy और Focus Limited दोनों के एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज है. क्यों? क्योंकि फोकस हैप्पी लिमिटेड एंड फोकस लिमिटेड दोनों के more than 30% shares are held by a common person, held by action. और फोकस लिमिटेड कौन है? गारंटी दे रहा है. Guarantee, who is giving the guarantee? Focus. I have taken loan from Success. Guarantee is given by Focus. Focus and Happy are indirectly associate enterprise because 30% of the shares are commonly held by Action Incorporation. समझ में आया? So in short, I have not taken loan by my associate enterprise. Now let us solve it. Particulars and amount. Okay. Net profit. Net profit after interest and depreciation. वहां से शुरू करो. कितना दिया है? 10 in crores. 10 crore. After interest and depreciation, it is 10 crore. So add back interest. Add back interest. 100 crore पे 9%. 9 crore. Add back depreciation. Depreciation कितना है आपका? 5 crores. And tax. Tax भी आपने already debit किया है 3 crore. Anyone in the class not getting the answer? Say fast. Your net profit is 10. Add back interest, depreciation and tax. Okay. Thought of completing on time, but we got it little delayed for break in between. चलो इसको complete करते हैं. 27 crore is your earning before interest, tax and depreciation. 27 crores. Up. Interest disallowed is least of. Interest disallowed is least of what? EBIT. Excess interest greater than 30% of EBITDA. आपका इंटरेस्ट कितना है? 9 करोड़. 30% ऑफ EBITDA कितना आ रहा है? 8.1. 30% ऑफ EBITDA तक इंटरेस्ट अलाउड है, तो एक्सेस कितना है? Excess is how much? 0.9 crores. This is disallowed or actual interest paid to associate enterprise 9 crore, whichever is lower. So 0.9 is the answer. हो गया. Ma'am, for how many marks this problem will come? 4 marks, 5 marks. Have you seen such problem in the earlier exam? If any one of you has appeared, and if you have left it, you should really feel कि नहीं अब कभी भी नहीं छोड़ना. Simple maths. See, we do all this in FM also, ratio analysis and all. FM में ये करते हैं ना सब. चलो. Is this clear to all of you? Net profit after interest, tax, depreciation and all is 10. So we add back, we got IPTA. IPTA ka maximum interest allowed is 30%. That is 8.1, but you have paid 9. So disallowed is excess interest over 30% or actual interest paid to associate, whichever is lower. Actually, direct you can get the answer. Why we are doing second step? Because we may pay interest to others also. Same as the next problem. We are closing this chapter, so we are not doing it as homework. If you're watching as recording, pause it, डू इट ऑन योर ओन एंड देन अगेन चेक इट. सही में कर पा रहे हैं नहीं. Joy Limited is Indian company has borrowed 80 crores from Roy at an interest of 10%. The said loan is repayable over 5 years. Further, loan is guaranteed by Coy. Toy, a non-resident, holds 40% of voting right in Joy and Coy. दोनों में तो वो associate enterprise हो गया indirectly. Net profit of Joy is 7 crores. After debiting interest, this that calculate interest to be disallowed in computation. ठीक है ना? Quick, quick, quick. Exactly same problem as answer. रॉय से हमने रॉय लिमिटेड से हमने बोरो किया है लोन और हमारा नाम क्या है जॉय लिमिटेड. लेकिन गारंटी किसने दी है? गारंटी कॉय लिमिटेड ने गारंटी दी है. टॉय के पास दोनों के शेयर हैं. एक टॉय इनकॉर्पोरेशन है हु इज होल्डिंग shares in both the companies. 40% shares. 40% shares हैं टॉय के पास, जॉय और कॉय, तो दोनों एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज हो गई. सो आई हैव टेकन लोन फ्रॉम अ थर्ड पार्टी बट गारंटी फ्रॉम एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज. सो इज इप्ता वाला प्रोविजंस एप्लीकेबल? यस. पर्टिकुलर्स and the amount in crores. Particulars and amount in crores. देखो फर्स्ट क्या है, सबसे पहले नेट प्रॉफिट. स्टार्ट विथ नेट प्रॉफिट बिफोर और net profit before interest, depreciation and tax. So sorry, we will start with the net profit after, because after is only given. Don't write this. 1 second. Screen is getting stuck again. Net profit after interest and depreciation and all. 7 crores. Add back interest. 6 crores. Income tax. 4 crore. इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, डेप्रीसिएशन है 6 करोड़. एंड इंटरेस्ट वी विल राइट. इंटरेस्ट कितना आ रहा है? यू हैव टेकन अ लोन ऑफ 80 का 10%. 8. So what is your earning before interest, tax and depreciation? 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 8. That is 25. Correct? 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 8. $25. ठीक है. Interest disallowed. How much interest is disallowed? Excess of 30% of IPTA. So what is the interest? Interest कितना है आपका? 8 crores. 30% of IPTA कितना है? देखो 30% of IBDA 25 का 30%, 7.5. So how much is the excess interest which is going to be disallowed? 0.5. 30% of IBDA से जो भी ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट आपने दिया है, if paid 8 crores interest, whereas 7.5, the 0.5 is disallowed. Subject to interest 8 crore, so obviously 0.5. How much interest is disallowed? 0.5 crore is the answer. Check it once. और पूछो कोई doubt है तो. Take the figures also correctly and ask if you have any doubt anywhere. Done? Just exactly same problem with different figures are there in your books also. Easy or not? Whatever interest you have paid in excess of 30% of IBDA, that is disallowed. So ma'am, directly le lo na. Then why that 30% or actual interest paid to associate enterprise? Because total interest you may pay to others also. Okay? Right. Now last part of this, in transfer pricing, if already these penalties are covered in penalty chapter also, but if there are any mistakes in transfer pricing, it is asked so much in MCQ कि अगर कुछ है तो किस टाइप की पेनल्टी लगेगी. Okay? Failure to report an international or deemed transaction to which provisions of this chapter apply is like misreporting of income. You're not showing that you're doing transaction with associate enterprise, then it is deemed that it is misreporting of income, and 200% of the tax payable on underreported income. जो भी अंडर रिपोर्टेड इनकम है उस पर 200% टैक्स आपको पे करना पड़ेगा. 92(8) says report if you have not furnished 1 lakh penalty. Failure to maintain the documents, हाँ, और या फिर 30 days में पूछते हैं तो आप नहीं दे रहे हैं तो 2% of the value of international transaction for the failure. Okay? फेलियर टू मेंटेन द बुक्स, फेलियर या तो आप डॉक्यूमेंट मेंटेन नहीं कर रहे हैं या मेंटेन करके रिपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, और यू आर मेंटेनिंग इन अ रॉन्ग वे, 2% ऑफ द वैल्यू ऑफ इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजैक्शन इज द पेनल्टी. सीए का रिपोर्ट नहीं है, फ्लैट 1 लाख. अंडर रिपोर्टिंग ऑफ इनकम है तो 200%. This under reporting in other cases also you will study in penalties chapter. It is 200% only. Okay. Section 273B, where SSE shows reasonable cause, then no penalty under 271 AA failure wala, or 271 BA or 271 G. Okay, shall not be levied. तो कभी कभी उनका वेव ऑफ भी होता है, बट मिस रिपोर्टिंग है तो कोई वेवर नहीं है. 200%. फिर से एक बार, if there is misreporting or under reporting of international transaction, 200%. सीए का रिपोर्ट नहीं है, 1 लाख रुपीस. ऑल द अदर केसेस 2% ऑफ द वैल्यू. ओके, राइट. चलो, लेट अस टेक अप OPEC Limited operating in India. Last problem is the dealer for goods manufactured by Mirror Limited of Tokyo. Owns 58% of OPEC and out of 7. So these two are associate enterprise. First point of answer. OPEC and Mirror Limited and OPEC Limited are associate enterprise. After verification, they have found that 300 lakhs of OPEC Limited were relevant and has failed to maintain the records and also not obtained the accountant's report. Okay. तो आपको जो भी documentation कुछ maintain करना था, you have not maintained, and adjust its income by making additional 30 lakhs to be declared and give them a show cause notice for various penalties. तो क्या क्या penalty? First of all, are they associate enterprise? Yes. So they didn't maintain any records and all documents. तो फिर 271 CA का रिपोर्ट, 271 BA CA का रिपोर्ट not submitted. They have not submitted. तो कितना पेनल्टी लगेगा? 1 लाख रुपीज. And they have failed to maintain the records. तो फिर 271 AA में 2% of the transaction value for no records. रिकॉर्ड्स ठीक से नहीं है तो 2%, सीए का रिपोर्ट नहीं है तो 1 लाख पेनल्टी लगेगी. That's all for this topic. Once again, what we have done, I started this last class of transfer pricing with a topic called as secondary adjustment. If primary adjustment is above 1 crore and it is after 1st April 2017, then secondary adjustment says whatever is the increase in the actual price and arm's length price, that money should be brought to India within 90 days of filing the return or date of order or whatever it is. If it is not repatriated, then not 91 days, day 1 say interest will charge. So in case of secondary adjustment, what rate interest is charged? If the transaction is in rupees, SBI rate plus 3.25%. If it is in other currency, then Libor plus 3%. It will be assumed that if 50 crores total income बढ़ाए हैं, इंडिया में लाना है, तो 50 crores के ऊपर interest लगेगा. Okay? And that interest is taxable for me, who has done the primary adjustment. But they are not repatriating in India, then how long I will keep on paying interest? One way out is, for once on this income, pay 18% tax, 12% surcharge, 4% ESS, and this issue is closed. This is what is secondary adjustment. Then we said if CA's report is not there, 1 lakh penalty will be there. Then we said 92D, all the documents and all are to be maintained correctly. And last concept was for earning before interest taxed associate enterprise se loan liye. Yeah, I'll take the loan from other party where associate enterprise is guarantee. If I've taken the loan, then this IPTA's 30% say whatever interest has exceeded, excess interest is disallowed. Okay, right? So I think I've covered everything here. You check it. Yeah, two more things I have discussed here. One is, if there is a transaction in the notified jurisdictional area, forget it is associate enterprise or not, that transaction will be treated as associate enterprise और उसको arm's length में करना पड़ेगा. और कोई TDS अगर deduct हुआ है तो highest rate of TDS applicable to NJ is 30% straight. And then there are specified domestic transactions above 20 crores between two Indian concern only, that two branches, या एक branch एक head office, 20 crore से ऊपर है, and we feel no, they are biased, they have not done it at arm's length price, one branch is selling to another at any goof up price, then transfer pricing provisions will apply. Okay, right? So minutely I have made it all clear. Anyone is having any doubt or all clear, please say. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for adjusting with in between gap, and there was an unavoidable gap and you all waited. Appreciated. God bless you. Keep working hard. Be committed like this, but promise me that you all are going to write exams. Writing chapter wise exam will take you to a very nice level, and don't get scared. नहीं आया और मैं demotivate होंगी. It's okay. I have set 50 marks paper for 1.5 hours. You write it. If you're not getting, check the suggested, uploaded, okay, and make the corrections for your final exam. Every exam I have been framing lot of nice MCQs, theory questions, practicals and all. So for sure अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, लिखो. Next exam will be on transfer pricing. Okay, right? Tomorrow we are doing, you call it as a part of transfer pricing, as separate one topic is there, GAR, when it is asked. Like in the CMA exam, I have not seen any exam without write a short note on impermissible avoidance agreement. What is impermissible avoidance agreement? GAR. तो theory भी आता है और कुछ case laws है. So in a very simple way, we will be doing that topic tomorrow, and then we will continue with other topics. ठीक है? That's all for today. Thank you so much. Anyone is having any doubt, then ask, please. पूछो. No? Bye then. Bye all of you.